Place prepare for landing.
Charleston is, from what I've heard, at least 60% of people of African descent in America, their first their first ancestor landed in these ports here. There was a lot of, at one point, dominated by black bodies living here. All these people that you see now, you can look at them and tell that they're tourists. You know, they're visiting from somewhere. This is one of the most sought after cities to visit in the world, Charleston, South Carolina. And that's a recent thing that only took place, that only started within like the last, I don't know, 20 plus years. I could be wrong about that, but it used to be like very, very, very large population of black people of African descent.
Used to be black people used to live here in downtown.
Oh yeah, there's still a good amount. They just haven't figured out a way to weed them out yet. But you know, unfortunately, gentrification is a
big thing. Yeah.
Road closed through traffic, so we can go this way. Yeah, it's a big problem. It's a big problem that Charleston is having, and black people are kind of stuck in between two worlds. You know, their own world of just living and being black people, and also the world of capitalism.
Okay.
Yeah, capitalism is taking it's taking its toll on everyone, everywhere. And, you know, Charleston is one of the most recent cities to undergo the side effects of capitalism. I mentioned capitalism because capitalism is what dominates America. You know, this is a country built on capitalism, not socialism. Yeah. So, you know, just when I speak of the word capitalism, I'm just speaking of it from what I know, from my experience here as an American, as a black American. That's all.
My first experience here, the driver that bring me to the hotel, just told me, we were invaded by the North. We don't have a civil war. We have an invasion. He just told me that like that.
It is a different perspective. See, I grew up in Connecticut. I grew up north. Up north, we called it the Civil War. And I say that in quote.
That is something between south and north.
Yes, northern states and southern states. That's, you know, up north it was called the Civil War, but if you're from the south,
you were invaded.
Yeah, they call it northern aggression.
Yes.
There's a distinct difference in perspectives, you know. Most of it was really fought over economics.
Yeah.
The unfair advantage that the southern states had with free labor of African bodies.
Yeah.
You know, the northern states, they had industry, they had factories and paid labor and stuff like that, and they couldn't compete with the price to produce, you know, their commodities. So the northern states pretty much invaded. They basically invaded, destroyed the southern way of life, and, you know, via the African slave trade. And yeah, I can see how they can look at it like that, because, you know, they basically tore their whole deconstructed the southern system of slavery and replaced it with
the more industrial.
Yeah, or in some cases the prison system.
The prisons.
The prison system, yeah, because, you know, shortly after the Civil War ended, private industry or the private industry of a prison system started. So therefore, all 50 some odd states can hold prisoners and put prisoners to work.
But that is the slavery.
Yeah, it's slavery.
But now owned by the North.
Yeah, they were tricky with it. They knew exactly what they were doing. It was all part of the dictator, you know.
So they end the slavery. They just restituted it in another way.
Yeah, through military force, they changed the whole economic structure of the South to make it an even playing for all 50 some odd states to be able to do business on an equal plane.
Okay, I have a question.
Sure.
In the market, I talk to a lot of people making baskets. But as soon as I told them I want to record, they retreat and they put a wall.
Yeah.
Why is that?
They're pretty private. Two words you have to understand. I had a feeling I'd be the one to talk about this. There's two words that I learned. I've been in Charleston for 10 years. First thing that I met with was these two distinct words. They're Kamya and Benya. It's in proper English. I say that in quote. English grammar. It translates to come here. Kamya, come here. Benya, been here. If you're born here, if your parents are born here, if your grandparents are born here, you're considered a Benya. That means you've been here a long time.
Okay.
You know, I'm not from here, you're not from here. You know, so they don't know you. You're not too familiar with, you're not familiar at all with.
They are just like Asians. Koreans are different from Japanese people, are different from Chinese people. Same thing with the African. So two African tribes are not going to be always friendly or friends. They're human beings. So you have one, set of people selling another set of people into a slavery situation. You're talking about hundreds of years of different dynamics that happen. So I don't feel really any kind of way, any kind of guilt, because it's humans being ugly towards another human being.
But that doesn't make the African people equal to the white people that by us.
not by a long shot. No way, because they didn't know exactly what they were selling these people into, and the agenda, that the intention was different. So they were doing something that they did amongst themselves, amongst the people on the continent all the time. So they didn't make sure this guy sees this. So that's what is a significant difference. Europeans had an intention of creating a new world, going to other places and using these people as livestock to do that. And from what I know, Africans that sold other African cultures into slavery didn't have that same agenda. I said, I don't think white people should feel guilty for what their ancestors did, but they should tell the story. So in other words, don't hide your family records. Make it easy for us to obtain those records so we can do our own research. Yes. And that's what happens a lot of times with white folks, that they don't want to share that their family wealth is from the slave trade, And so therefore they keep that hush-hush. We cannot connect to our past because they're holding on to the information because they feel shame.